Welcome to Side Hustle Rules. My name is Lou Reyes, and today I'm going to be telling you about the 7 ways to make money online. And when I say the 7 ways, there are 7 ways that you can make money online. And these are pretty much I don't want to say the only ways, because there's probably 1 or 2 that I'm not going to mention. Like, I'm not going to talk about making money by filling out surveys. To me, that's really not making money online. If you really need to do that, it's usually because maybe you just need to pay a bill real quick, you need to make the rent, whatever. But I'm not going to go into that one. I'm going to give you the 7 real ways that people make money online. I'll give you the pros and cons of each one, and then what I'll do at the very end, after I'm done with the pros and cons, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to share my experience with each one of these. I've either done them myself, or I've worked with companies, with organizations, and helped them to implement these programs. So without further ado, let's get to the 7 ways to make money, the ways that you can make money online. I'll give those ways to you right after this break. Come on! Welcome back to Side Hustle Rules. Once again, my name is Lou Reyes. Before we jump into the 7 ways to make money online, let me just mention that if you're thinking about starting a side hustle, or maybe you want to start a small business and make it full time, well, I've got a side hustle starter kit that I created, and it's really a step-by-step guide that'll help you to quickly set your business up so you can get it up and running. Now, I've got a link to my free, I want to mention it's free, my free side hustle starter kit, and that link is in the description box. So now let's jump right into the 7 ways you can make money online. So we're going to start with the first way, and this is freelancing, and many of you are already familiar with freelancing, but I'm going to give you some information that could help you, that I really believe can help you. So listen, essentially a freelance job is a job where a person works for themselves, and you do that rather than working for a company. And freelancers, they usually take on contract work for one company or multiple companies, and I've heard some people will just be with a company for a long time. For the most part, though, I think people take a job, they work it for a short time, they finish that job, they go on to another client, and sometimes they go back to that first client. Now, examples of freelance jobs would be graphic design, web design. Maybe you're writing an article for a company or an organization. You could even do some marketing, or in some cases, you just provide customer service. And really, the list goes on and on. For me, some of the pros are you work with diverse types of clients, and I always like doing that. Now, you're often going to be considered an expert because people want to reach out to you. They know you know what you're doing. You can also control your schedule to a degree. You don't have complete control, but you got a lot of control of who you work with and what your hours are. Now, you can also build a nice income from this, a substantial business. A con? Well, you got to worry about your own taxes. Another con? Well, you've got no paid time off and no paid vacation. Another con? Well, you've got to pay for your own insurance. Another con? Well, you know what? Sometimes it is feast or famine. I find that sometimes in the slower months, like a December, that might be a slow time, or it could be just a seasonal whenever you find your sales are not where you'd like them to be. Last con I'm going to mention, yeah, you know what? Sometimes you got to market yourself, and that does take time. So you're really busy. If you decide you want to be a freelancer, you are going to spend some time in that business. You're going to be doing the work yourself. You're going to be marketing yourself. You're going to be handling all your taxes and all of your deposits. So yeah, there's pros and cons. I did freelancing for a very, very long time. I thoroughly enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, I built a full-time business, a thriving business off of starting out as a freelancer, as a contract worker. Next up is affiliate marketing, and this is certainly one of my favorite approaches to earning money online. And I think it's one of my favorites because really it's almost like passive income. Now, what an affiliate marketing, or what it is really, is it involves you referring a product or a service to one of your viewers, or maybe even somebody on a mailing list that you have. And what happens is this: you earn a commission every time someone makes a purchase using a link, the link that you're providing, whether it's on your website, your blog, or in your email. Now, the amount of commission that you earn, that varies. And it varies greatly. Sometimes it can be at a high percentage or even high dollar. Sometimes it's low amount of money. But either way, there are thousands of affiliate opportunities that are available out there. And I think this is one of the real pros because you can find some affiliate that really fits well with your particular audience. You just got to really, really look through the list of affiliates. Now, you can find some of those lists on sites like ClickBank, Flex Offers, and CJ.com. Now, another pro that I like is that you don't need a website. I kind of mentioned that already. You don't need a website to become an affiliate marketer. You can use your social media accounts or maybe an email link. You send an email. If you've got an email list, you can send that out, the link. Now, a con would be this. You do have to go through an approval process. It's not guaranteed you're going to get every single one. It also takes a little bit of work setting the link up. It's not a lot of work. It certainly wouldn't hold me back from exploring affiliate income as a way to make money. Now, there's a guy who has a YouTube channel. It's called Caffeinated Blogger. Again, it's on YouTube. He's on YouTube. I watch him, and I've learned a lot about affiliate marketing from him. I just recommend you go on YouTube, type in Caffeinated Blogger, look through some of his videos. But if you're serious about or really want to explore affiliated marketing, well, you know what? Check out Caffeinated Blogger. Next up is advertising. Now, I'm very, very familiar with advertising, having run and really built a chain of business-to-business magazines and a weekly newspaper. So advertising, I guess you kind of say it's in my blood. But online advertising is really a different animal, but it's just so nice because you're placing ads on a website or a blog or maybe in an email or maybe even on a landing page that you created. Now, every time somebody clicks on your ad, you earn a small fee. Often it's no more than a few pennies, I'd say a couple of pennies, but with enough clicks, you can grow those pennies into some nice dollars. Now, a pro is this. There are plenty of advertisers. Another pro, it's relatively passive income because the only work you're doing is you're finding that advertiser and placing their ad in one of your social media channels. A con, creating that content, well, you know what? It can be time consuming. And you also could risk turning off viewers if you're putting an ad in on one of your channels or maybe even on a website. You could turn off some of the people that are watching you because they just don't want to see an ad. But I do think that advertising is a good way to make online income. Next up, consulting, a great way to earn online income. And consultants, what they do is they offer advice and they offer their expertise to organizations to help them improve their performance. And what is great about becoming a consultant is you are using your expertise and you're viewed as an expert. You're making pretty good money. The most recent data that I've read in 2022 shows that consultants make an average. Now, this is an average of $6,900 a month, and that equates to $83,000 plus per year. In the same research, it indicates that monthly salaries for consultants can be as high as $16,000. This is monthly, $16,000 a month or $197,000 per year. Now, a pro, you can also build a large network. You're going to have to deal with a little bit of stress, but you're going to learn how to deal with the stress, and I honestly think that's a pro. But it's also a con because, yeah, it can be stressful. Clients can be demanding, and there can also be pretty good, or I would just say large swings in the amount of work that you do. So you've got some pros, you have some cons. I've worked with many consultants over my career, and I found that when I'm working with a consultant, and maybe I need a consultant to help me with my marketing, and I look for somebody who's a real pro, someone who knows what they're doing with marketing, or maybe it's somebody who understands how to set up a business plan, the numbers portion, the accounting portion, so I would work with a CPA consultant. But I do think working with consultants or becoming a consultant is a great way to make money. There are pros, there are cons. You'll have to really examine that for yourself, but I think it is a great way to make money. Products, selling products online, why? That can be, if you're efficient, if you can find the way to make yourself the most efficient as possible at selling products, well, I think it can be a very good way to make money online. And a good example of somebody who did that and did that very well is Jeff Bezos with Amazon. We all know that the Amazon story, that he started out selling books, Then he broadened his offerings, and the next category that he brought on, I believe, was music, was records, and he just kept expanding. But one thing when you are selling products online is you need to have that Jeff Bezos mindset. You want to make it as efficient as possible, because if you don't do that, you're going to end up with an inventory, and maybe an inventory that you can't sell. That is going to be expensive in itself. And also distribution, when you are sending these products out, well, you're going to have that big cost, and you certainly don't want to have that, because that definitely adds up. For me, when it comes to selling products online, I think you've got to be laser focused on becoming, as I said, as efficient as possible, as absolutely as efficient as possible doing it. And that we all know Jeff Bezos was, or had that mindset. Now, a pro when it comes to selling books or music or anything else online, a physical product online, a pro to me would be the fact that you do have an item that in all likelihood is an item that people will buy, and maybe not every single person, but you're going to find enough people that will buy it. So to me, a pro with a physical is having a physical product. Yeah, you're going to find a buyer. But a negative would be the distribution costs, the inventory costs that you could possibly have. And when you have that distribution cost, which is really your postage or whatever way you can distribute that, that does add up. So the pros and the cons, you got to weigh them. But I would just say this. I believe there are other ways, other online ways you can make money that have less moving parts. But if you have a product you want to sell, whether it's a physical or a digital, and you can sell it and you can do it efficiently, well, you know what? You can make money doing it, but you got to be, once again, you got to be laser focused. Software. Now, I got to admit, I never considered software as an online product that I would sell or even consider selling until I worked with a company out of Canada who created their own product. And what they did is they were selling that product on what's called a SaaS or SaaS, and it's a product that is sold by a subscription. And I watched them build this product, and I know that people were anxious to buy it, to purchase it. And they either bought it on an annual basis, or maybe they paid a subscription. You can do it by outsourcing it. So if you're thinking, hey, I don't know how to write code, or I don't know how to do it, if you come up with that idea and you find somebody who can create it for you, if you can outsource it, yeah, it can be very, very, very profitable. And that's one of the pros. It is profitable. It is profitable because once you've got the investment out of the way, yeah, you know what, then the costs are reduced. But that's also a con, because one of the things about starting or building a software, whether it's an application or some other kind of a program, yeah, there are a lot of upfront costs. But again, I would never have considered it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, watched two young guys creating a software. I consulted with them on the whole application. We sat down. I actually did a Zoom call, many Zoom calls, and I saw how dedicated they were and how they believed in it. And I saw this program progress over time, and it really in my mind, it turned out to be a great idea and a great product. Number 7 on my list of products that you can make or sell online is online courses and membership sites. And online courses, I like them because they offer a buyer specific training that they need, that they want. And generally what you're doing is when you're creating an online course, you're developing a series of lessons, or maybe you want to call them modules. Now, these lessons, they can either be in video, they can be worksheets, they can be guides, or maybe you're just creating some checklists for people to follow along with your content. Now, customers do pay a fee to access the courses, which I think is really nice for you, because you're going to get that regular income that you can count on. Now, also another thing, too, is if you decide that you're going to have a membership site, well, people are paying to access that content. They're paying basically what's called a gateway fee, and they're paying that fee, and you get that fee on a regular basis, which I also like that, too. Obviously, it's a nice to have that money coming in every month. Now, a pro is, again, it's dependable, recurring income. You're also, though, building a customer relationship, so later on you can sell additional products. You're establishing yourself as an authority. That's also something that's good. They're coming to your product for that expertise. Now, a con would be, and I'll say this, a con would be with this type of business that it is time consuming to create the online course. It's not It's not something you're going to do overnight. If you want to really create something that's going to help people, and that really has to be your goal. Now, another con that I see is that it is something that you should, whether it's a course or maybe even just if you've got a membership program, you're going to want to update that on a somewhat regular basis. Now, maybe you don't have to update the course as much, but when you do have a membership site, yeah, you're going to want to update that at least once a month. But that, to me, is not much of a con, because if you enjoy helping people and you enjoy your product, well, you know what? You're going to enjoy sitting there and updating your program. It's not necessarily passive. In some ways it is, but also in some ways it isn't. Well, there you go, folks. I've just given you 7 ways that you can make money online. And as I mentioned, these are the 7 ways that people make money online. And there are a couple other ways. I mentioned people fill out surveys and they make money that way, which really you're not making a lot of money. It's not consistent, certainly. It's a lot of work to do it. But what I've outlined for you are 7 ways that you can build a business online and you can make yourself some good money. Start out slow, learn how to do it, and build it up. And believe me, once you do that and you see that money coming in, well, you'll be pretty darn happy that you went ahead and did one of these 7 online businesses. Well, as I mentioned, that's all I've got for you. If you do have any questions, please put them in the comment box where you can send me an email. I did say I welcome the emails. I answer every single one, and I answer them myself. So once again, that's all I got for you. Oh, one more thing. If you do want my side hustle, my free side hustle starter kit, there's a link to that in the description box. Well, as I always say, have a great day, everybody.